All right, Mateo. Wrapping up not the best night. Lakers versus Pistons. Got a Celtics game to look forward to. So break it down. Let us
Yeah,
know what's
bro.
up, man.
So the Lakers suffer their second loss in a row, easily the worst loss of the season against a Detroit Pistons team who was 4-14 heading into this. But this Pistons team's kind of weird, actually. They have all their wins against quality opponents. So people like us and then people like the Celtics. I think they got one against the Sixers. So it's like they're losing to everyone except the good teams. Anyways, man, yeah, the Lakers, they followed the Pistons, and it was such a hard thing to watch, man. Just this game and the game against the Sixers too, especially. You'll just notice that they're not playing well, or like maybe there's like some physical ailments bothering these guys, and they play so bad. Like by the second half, like the third and fourth quarters, I'm like, Jesus Christ, can this game just end already? That's how I felt at the end of that Sixers game, and that's how I was feeling through a lot of this Pistons game, man. So I'll just give like the kind of main points of it because it's I don't want to recap the whole thing in detail, but
Okay.
essentially LeBron started out really hot. He made his like first 7 shots, and no AD, by the way, who was sitting because of a right leg ailment. He's been having an ankle injury that's been bothering him, and he actually hurt his quad in the Sixers game. So I thought, they should rest him, and so they ended up doing that, which is good.
Hmm.
So you thought, okay, it's going to be the LeBron show. He'll carry us. And Kuzma got the start too, and him playing back in Detroit. He grew up in Flint, Michigan, as we all know. So you'd think a little hometown game, maybe he'll really show out. He ended up
Nope.
showing out. He had like 20 something points, 10 rebounds.
Did
But
he?
yeah,
Okay.
he ended up stuffing the stat sheet. But dude, our defense, and
Mhm.
by the time we hit the second half, we were just gassed, man. So
Mhm.
LeBron starts out like 7 for 7, and it's just like, he's going for like 50 tonight because there's no AD. Like that was a big feeling. And then he misses his next, like he goes like 1 for 9 the
Jeez.
next. Yeah, I know. So dude, 36 years old, he just ran out of gas, man. So we thought LeBron was going to carry us, and we thought, we got some good depth. Our offense will do a good job of carrying us through this Pistons team that's not that good, but it just wasn't the case, man. The whole team looked like they didn't want to be there. The whole team looked super tired.
Damn.
Um, and by the way, I'm just going to grab a charger real quick, but I'll keep talking.
Okay.
Um, Team just looked like they didn't want to be there, man. And that just ended up in a 15-point loss against not a very good team. So
15 points, man. That's unacceptable, honestly. Like
I
defending
know
James. Like,
what was really annoying about this game, dude, is guys were guys were getting open shots, they just weren't hitting them, and open 3 pointers. But also, if they just got like a little layup close to the rim,
mm,
they would drive up and it would just rim out, dude. I counted like maybe more than 5 little easy shots that were directly under the hoop that would go in any other normal day, but they didn't go in this time, man. And that's what made this game so frustrating to watch.
yeah. That sucks. Who is on the Pistons again? It's like they have
Blake Griffin,
okay.
yeah, Blake, and he did okay, but he's still not the old Blake Griffin, man.
No, no way.
Yeah. So they have Blake. Jeremy Grant did okay. We did a good job containing Grant for like the first half, but Wayne Ellington, who used to be a Laker, actually went off from 3 point land. And so
Was
we
he
were
a
so
Laker?
preoccupied
Really?
with not letting Grant go off that
Oh
we let
wow.
Wayne Ellington get the best of us. Yeah.
Have you noticed that kind of revenge? These dudes have been taking revenge lately. Like even Drummond went ballistic on the
That
Pistons the other day.
that tends to happen in the NBA. Yeah. Revenge is
Yeah,
a good storyline with it.
nice. Yeah, man. Honestly, let's get over this. Like it's a whack loss. But tell us about the Celtics game coming up. What can we look forward to?
So the Celtics have kind of been in a little funk too. Um, Jaylen Brown has been playing really well for them, but Jason Tatum was out with COVID and he missed a bunch of games. So a lot of times when teams they don't have all their guys that are not all practicing, they can't build that chemistry really. So I mean the Celtics got a lot of returning guys, but the they've suffered some pretty bad losses this year. So I just plugged in my charger real quick.
Never worry.
Yeah. So when I was checking their schedule, they lost like a good portion of their last 7 games, and so they've had guys out. They've had a pretty bad defense too, according to some headlines and some articles I was reading. So I think the Celtics team might not be 100%, but we can't underestimate them. We didn't really match up well with them last year because their wings are just so good. Yeah, dude, we got to respect them because they still have a pretty decent team, and we're really desperate for a win, but so are they. So I think this one's going to be really competitive.
And it's Celtics Lakers. You know, they both sides rise up for these kind of matchups.
Yeah, I expect LeBron to play pretty well because he just likes whipping the Celtics for some reason.
Good.
Well, I think it goes back to Paul Pierce and KG and those dudes because, you know, they would always try and bully him and shit. And whenever he sees Green, he's like, yeah, fuck this team. I'm going to murk them.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
He kind of goes off against the Celtics. In the playoffs, we know it. But
yeah,
I expect LeBron to have a pretty good game tomorrow. And I expect Davis to play because it's such a big game. And, dude, yeah, so much for not losing 2 in a row. This team was trying to make it a point of not to lose 2 in a row, and we're this early on in the season. They've already lost 2 in a row. So
I might look into something, Mateo. I might look into stats on teams who go on like extraordinary win streaks, like road win streaks. I want to see like kind of like how many losses they take after that. You know, you'd have to imagine that momentum kind of goes the other way.
And I think, dude, with COVID, you know, kind of limiting. I was listening to a good podcast, the Laker Film Room podcast, which they got Mike Trudell, if you know him, he's the sideline reporter. Also, a couple big Laker guys in the, you know, like the internet Lakers sphere.
Okay.
Mike Trudell, who's been following the team, you know, on the road for I don't know, like 10 years. He's talking about how a lot of the stuff you do on the road, like, hey, let's go see a movie, let's go get a team dinner, or like, I know this good place in Chicago to get like a good bite to eat, or like, I got some friends I want to meet up with. You can't do that, man, because everything's closed. And so you're missing chances to really enjoy going on the road. These guys, when they're traveling, they just, you know, go to their hotel room and there's nothing they could do. So these road trips are kind of downers. I think it's hard to generate energy. And this is their 5th city in 7 days too. So when you take all that into account, it's like, wow, no wonder they just kind of gave up. Yeah, dude, in this Pistons game, there was like a 6-minute stretch of game clock where we just didn't score.
Jesus, 6 minutes? What?
Yeah, and the game was still in the balance, but it was just like they're shooting these little bunnies at the hoop and they just weren't going in. Like, guys,
where's our boy Caruso? Where's our boy at? I mean, what's he doing? I mean, I don't understand. Was nobody coming through for us? Like, that's crazy, man.
It really was no one, man. Montrezl Harrell in particular was really bad, dude. We really missed AD's rebounding and paint protection this game because yeah, it was just a really interesting thing to see how bad the rebounding and paint protection was. There, dude. It makes me think we need to get another big man ASAP, but then, hey, he'll come back and he'll have a great game, and then we'll look really good again. So, but, you know, we could always use a little more depth. We've talked about in the past what their some good man pickups, some good big man pickups they could get, like Dwayne Dedman, Hassan Whiteside. They can swing a trade for him, and if he can, you know, become a disciplined player, which guys tend to do under LeBron. So those are some routes we can go. There's still time.
And do you anticipate AD being there for Boston? I'm sorry, I didn't, or you're not. You don't think it'll.
I definitely do. AD has, you know, he gets a lot of bumps and bruises, but he shows up for these big games. Okay. Unless something's really wrong. It was a right quad injury, and he's also dealing with the right ankle. So unless something's really wrong with him, I expect him to play.
All right, man. Hopefully he does. Hopefully we whoop the Celtics. I mean, that's always a big one for us. And it's like it staples us as just like the East like has nothing on the West. Like, you know, we just like smash the Celtics too.
Yeah. So. We're still on the road though. And after this Celtics trip, we have the Hawks again. And then after the Hawks, no, I think it's Celtics, Hawks, and then Nuggets. So we still got a we still got a bit of a stretch, man.
The Hawks are not like a chump team anymore either. They like, you know, they have Trae Young. They have their center's not bad. John Collins, I think, right? They're pretty good. Like,
well, so Trae and John have been having some chemistry issues lately.
Have they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, John Collins has been saying some stuff to the media, and I don't know. It seems like he might not be happy there. So. But you know how other teams get, man. They're like, "Oh, we're playing the Lakers, time to play our best game."
Exactly.
So you can't underestimate anyone, man. Yeah,
man. Just wrap it up. Any last thoughts for us, and let the people know where you're at.
Let me just see. These losses were pretty bad for us. The Sixers and Pistons loss. But it could be a good wake-up call for us. A few games we've coasted on, not totally putting in a lot of effort and then just kind of turning up in the fourth and just kind of overwhelming people with our talent. But these 2 losses were embarrassing, man. Like, we had no fight in us in that Sixers game except for that fourth quarter rally. And we just died at the end. We just ran out of gas in this Pistons game. So this Celtics game is big, and maybe it is a good thing that we got this wake-up call heading into a game like this, because we don't want to lose to Boston, man. We never want that.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
All right, Mateo. Thank you for the breakdown, man. And till next time.
Good talking, man. See ya.